Whitehall and on 88 and 91 FM. On BBC Radio 2.
If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd say, I don't know why I did the things I did, I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you. You'd say, if I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you used to. If I could turn back time, my world was shattered, I was torn apart. Like someone took a knife and drove it deep in my heart. Walk out that door, I swore that I didn't care, but I lost everything, darling, there and there. Too strong to tell you I was sorry, too proud to tell you I was wrong. I know that I was blind, and darling, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd say, if I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, if I could turn back time, if I could turn back time, oh, baby. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but oh, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way.
Share there with If I Could Turn Back Time, and that was a big hit for her in 1989. Hello, folks, it's Paul O'Grady here. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. I hope you've been able to enjoy this lovely weather we've had this week. I've just wish I could turn back time because I've just opened a bottle of fizzy pop, which of course I shook. I was walking into the studio and it's exploded like that Icelandic volcano. So I'm sat here soaked now, which means we're going to be sticky for the next 2 hours. But never mind, folks. Well, we've got a lovely show for you today. We've got music from Michael Bublé, Dame Cleo Lane and the Osmonds. Plus, we've got our exclusive triples, more of your thank yous, and the cocktail hour. So get your shaking and your ice cubes ready. And to get us started, here's a song that wasn't used in a commercial for a famous brand of low-calorie bread. Take it light. Saying, please God, I'll never be bad again. Don't let this balloon burst and crash. Please, please, please. That's all. And every time the flame stopped and the thing tilted, I was, praying away furiously. Now, I said a year ago, according to Malcolm, that was used for a commercial for a famous brand of bread, and neither of us can remember now what actually was used. But it was a girl in the bloom, wasn't it, eating a butty. I don't know how she managed to stay so calm, cool and collected. Wouldn't be me. Right, well, listen, folks, thanks for all your messages. Please keep them coming in. You can write to me, and the address is Paul O'Grady, BBC Radio 2, London, W1A1AA, or email me anytime from anywhere, Paul O'Grady, all one word, at bbc.co.uk. And remember, we may not be able to include everything on the show, but we do read them all. Honestly. Seriously. Uncross your fingers, Malcolm, we do. Right. Dear Paul, I need help with the crossword. Then you are not only barking up the wrong tree, my love, you're in the wrong forest. Because there's one thing I can't stand, it's puzzles, crosswords, and aptly named board games. Because as soon as Monopoly comes out, I'm out that door. Can't bear it. Right, let's have a look what's up with it now. Question, either of the two main stops on a pipe organ, aged, answer 8 letters. D space space A space space. I always listen to you and always love your show, and that's from Carol. You got D space space D. I know Vox Humana. Can't you slide that in somewhere instead? We'll have to have a think of that. Anybody out there knows D space space A space space answer of a crossword, 2 main stops on a pipe organ, 8 letters. Oh, Lord. See, that's what I don't like about crossword. When 2 people are doing a crossword and you're mooching about the kitchen, they're going, ends in T, found at the bottom of a bird cage. Grit, that's right. Lend us your rubber. I mean, really, you know, and you're sitting there... and you're trying to... And crosswords. Why did you start me off with a crossword, Malcolm? That's me aerated for the afternoon. Dear Paul, I love Coddy, and I've watched it all my life. I'm 42. Oh, even in your cot, even at your mother's bosom, you were sat there watching Coddy, watching Ina Sharples go underneath that viaduct. It's very exciting just now, what with Gail trying to avoid jail and Tony Gordon back on the scene. But what have they done to the music? I really don't like the new arrangements. Joe's going to talk about this. It's upsetting me, this. And the ad breaks are we on about here? Yeah. And what about those new titles? I'm all for change, and I appreciate HD looks better because the pictures are so much more detailed. But if that's the case, why are the new Coronation Street titles all blurred? I thought I had one too many on Monday when they first appeared to keep off the good work. Derek in Bootle. Derek, I've really got to agree with you here, because remember the old ad break? Music used to go ding, 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 ding. And you join in, wouldn't you? You go, ning, ning, ning. You can't do it now because they don't get... So you're desperate. You're standing there waiting to do it. And I agree with you about the titles. They were blurred. I thought it was me as well. I thought I've got to go and get these lenses changed. You know, we'll have to have words. I will. I'll be on the phone as soon as I finish this. I'll get on to them and say, look, this isn't on. Dear Mr O'Grady, thank you for your very nice show of a Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. You bring sunshine into our homes. Do I really? Wish my mother was alive to hear all this, you know. She'd say, why, what do you do? Throw a brick through your window? Could you please help me with something? I have a cat called Pip, and she'll be 1 in August, and I need to get a spade. Oh, I'm glad I've ate that sandwich. And to have an injection. Oh, please. I have been looking everywhere for a cat basket, which is brown, round, and with a front cage door and a handle on top. I have borrowed one of those long plastic ones, but Pip won't get inside. I also need a cat harness to walk her up and down the hallway, as I live in a first-floor flat. Hope you can help. And that's from Elizabeth and Woolwich. Well, Elizabeth, I don't have any cats, so I'm afraid I haven't got any cat baskets or a lead. I don't know what you can... Go to have a look in a pet shop, see if... Or go on to that well-known auction site, which I can't mention. They have everything going under the sun. Well, best of luck with your cat. I hope she doesn't glare at you. Bullseye's got to go in and have his snip. I'm dreading it. Dear Paul, love your show. Please give a mention for my mum and dad, Edna and John, also known as Sonny Ashburner. They celebrated their golden wedding anniversary on Friday, May the 21st, so please say thanks to them for a great party and lovely family meal out. From all their family, that's... Better take a deep breath before I read this lot. Elaine, John, James, Catherine, Paula, Russell, Oliver, Eleanor, Sam, Jessica, Sandra, Graham, Janine and Lee. Not forgetting Perry and Gemma in Spain. And could we forget Perry and Gemma in Spain? How are they? I haven't heard from them for ages. Oh, got a Christmas card. I haven't heard a word since. I've been worrying. Hopefully, if the sun's shining, I'll be doing my ironing in the garden this afternoon. Many thanks, Paul. And that's from Elaine Shaw. Good on you, Elaine. Righty-o. Please keep the messages coming. Time now for a much overdue blast from one of my favourites. It's the one and only Dame Cleo Lane.
to town. The hearts you have broken are scattered all around. In just a few days, you and your smooth ways stole the only love I ever had. You'd better love him long or let him be. If you hurt him, your answer to me. The sound of your sweet talk stole his love away. You've got him believing everything you say. Yes, yes, you can take him, but if you forsake him, you'll regret the day that you were born. You'd better love him long or let him be. If you hurt him, you'll answer
The incomparable Dame Cleo Lane there. What a wonderful woman. And that was recorded in 1961. And she was number 5 in the hit parade, as Fluff Freeman used to call it. Yeah, pop pickers. I used to love Alan Freeman. All right, then, more emails. Let's have a look. I'm not reading out the email address again. I can't be bothered. I said it 5 minutes ago, and I'm sitting here like a parrot spouting it. It drives me mad. Dear Paul, I would like to make a dedication to a friend and work colleague, Martin Anning in Chislehurst. Martin lost his mum yesterday, and although it is a blessed release for his mum, he is obviously feeling very bereft. I know he listens to you every week, and would like you to let him know that we are thinking of him. We are funeral directors, so we're used to dealing with death, but it's still difficult. We have to make arrangements for our loved ones. Thanks very much, and that's from Margaret Neves. Thanks for writing, Margaret, and I'm really sure that Martin's going to appreciate the thought. Oh. Dear Paul, it's my 50th wedding anniversary this year. Congratulations. And I'm trying to contact my bridesmaid, but I have no idea where to begin. Can you help? Well, it wasn't me. Sorry, just in case. Her name was Carol Watts. Now, pay attention, listener, OK? Just in case you're out there. This is very important. I'm looking for a lost bridesmaid from 1910. Her name was Carol Watts, and she lived in Elgin Road, 7 Kings, Ilford, Essex, in 1954 until 1961. And she was a big Elvis Presley fan. Well, that narrows it down, really, doesn't it? You know, Carol Watts with a beehive, tottering down the street in a leopard skin swing-back coat, whistling Trouble or Love Me Tender, in her stilettos, reeking of Bel Air lacquer. Anyway, Carol always listened to Jailhouse Rock. She just made a liar out of me. It wasn't Trouble she was whistling, it was Jailhouse Rock. My single name was Irene Wardle, and kind regards, Irene Hall. So, Carol, if you're out there, love, Carol Watts used to live in Ilford, Essex, and you're a big Elvis Presley fan, please get in touch and we'll forward all your details to Irene. And that's data protection rules permitting. I have to say that, because compliance has stood behind me. Have you ever seen the villain in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? That's what compliance look like. He's right here now behind me. Put your gloves back on. I keep telling you, there's no body searches today. Forget it. Right. Dear Paul, I always do my very best to tune in every Sunday at 5 p.m. I do enjoy your programme, so in case I forget, thank you for 2 hours of fun and top music. It puts other programmes to shame. Who's written this? A relative? No. My favourite singer is one that you have featured from time to time, the Divine Petula Clark. I have lost count of the times I've seen her live on stage and in musicals. She was a terrific Maria in The Sound of Music back in the 80s, and Mrs. Johnson in Blood Brothers was second to none. So would you please ask Malcolm to dig out my favourite Pet song? It's called My Love, and I think it would suit your show very well. Thanks again, Clive in Netherton. Clive, it's on the list, isn't it, Malcolm? And what's it called, Malcolm, again? My Love. That's it. Say. Clive, he's got it, honestly. Dear Paul, thank you for reading out my wife Sarah's story about her gig with the band Blue Velvet a few weeks ago, where Sarah was a lost and bemused sax player and Lily Savage was so kind and considerate. This is a soap, this, isn't it, really? It's a short story. Sarah has been going on about it for years, and I'm so glad you verified her story. However, Sarah only referred to me as husband. I have a name, you know. It's Nick. And I was really disappointed that I didn't even get a name check. Hang on, hold your horses, pal. Don't blame me. Sarah never mentioned your name, Nick. Maybe she's ashamed. Has that entered your head? Has it? Maybe you should change your name, Nick. No. What Sarah didn't say was that she is now studying for her finals as a solicitor. That's handy in court when it gets bored and she can whip out her sax, can't she? It's been 6 years hard work and her last exams are in June. Please tell her that I love her and I admire her very much, and I've already forgotten her name. No, she doesn't say that. And I've already forgotten that she didn't even tell you my name. It's Nick. OK, Nick, we've got it. We got the name. Since we moved house last December, I'm always decorating, hammering or drilling things, and your show always raises a smile and a titter and takes me mind off the drudgery. Thanks. And that's from Nick Jackson. Thanks for that, Nick. And give my love to Sarah. Wish her all the best from me. Tell you what, always handy to know a few solicitors. You never know when you might need one. Believe you me, especially in this game. All right, then. Here's a new one. And, well, it's new to me anyway. It's from somebody called the Dry as a Bone Soul Family. And it's called, well, it should be the story of my new book, I Fell Apart. Fell Apart there, the Dry as a Bone Soul Family. I quite like that, Malcolm. It was good. And that's out on June the 28th. And it's got vocals by Anika Johnson and singer-songwriter Billy Freeman. I'll sleep well now, I know that. OK. Hang on a minute. Wait, I'll let Elsie in. Elsie, there's no need to chew the door. I'll let you in. If you'll just indulge me, my lovely late cousin, Mr. John Savage. There you go. All right, then after 6, I'm going to be reading your thank you messages, and if you'd like to take part in a future programme, then why not get in touch? You know someone who deserves to be recognised? Then let me know, because we'll send them a T-shirt and a box of chocks if you get best email or letter of the week. And you email me, Paul O'Grady at bbc.co.uk, or you can write to me at BBC Radio 2, London, W1A 1AA. Right, you ready now? Time for the Northern Soul Triple, and this week it's been requested by Richard Davis. Thanks very much, Richard. Thanks for nominating your favourites. And remember, folks, what do? We keep the faith.
Surrounded
You're breaking my heart. What does this mean, babe? You tear me apart. Hey, what's the scene, babe? You know I've been true, and if you want me to, I'll get down on my knees for you. I gotta be with you. How can you say this is goodbye? But just yesterday, you said you were my guy. We took a trip to a star, and we went too far. Now I can't live without you. I gotta be with you. Yeah, I gotta be with you, baby. You gotta stay with me. Oh yeah, I gotta be with you, baby. You gotta stay with me, baby, through each night and each day. I need you by my side. My love is too deep to hide, and I can't let my pride keep me from telling you I don't want you to go. I'm begging you stay. Don't you pass me by, babe. 'Cause if you go away, I'll just have to die. Yeah, I gotta be with you, baby. You gotta stay with me. Oh yeah, I gotta be with you, baby. You gotta stay with me, baby, through each night and each day.
This week's Northern Soul Triple we had surrounded by a ray of sunshine, Samantha Jones, I'll Hold You, Frankie and Johnny, and I Gotta Be With You, Emma Reid. And they were great choices, Richard. Thanks very much for taking part. And don't forget, if you want me to play your favourite Northern Soul faves, then just visit the show page at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 and click on the form. Or to save all the messing, just send me an email, eh? Yeah. And don't forget, we've got the Sounds Like Motown Triple after 6 o'clock. Well, I'm Paul O'Grady, and time now for a few more messages. Guess what I've got here? Guess what I'm holding in my hand? Something I haven't seen for years. A proper old-fashioned hand-written letter. It's lovely to see, on a bit of Basildon Bond. Very nice. If I hold it up to the light, I can see the watermark. Is it a watermark or somebody spilled tea on it? It doesn't matter. Dear Paul and Co, I'm a security guard working rotating shifts, so I'm usually listening to you at work or driving to or from work. One of the joys of working nights is the variety of wildlife I see around the factory, including foxes, rabbits and birds. I'm not a twitcher, and so can only just about tell the difference between a blackbird and a magpie. The birds around here must work nights too, because I'm frequently serenaded by the midnight chorus. I have that in the country as well. I feel like opening the window and shouting, "It's dark! Go to sleep! Shut up!" Apologies for the handwritten snail mail letter. No need to apologise. Love a letter. But I do not have access to email, and so can't send one to Paul O'Grady, all one word, at bbc.co.uk. Incidentally, is that upper or lower case? Doesn't matter, I haven't got a clue. I love the Northern Soul Triple, even though nightclubs have always been a no-go zone for me with my perforated eardrums. Why do they have to play the music so loud you can't hear yourself think? Keep the faith, and that's from Rob Stevens in Weston-super-Mare. Will you take it easy, Rob, as a security guard? Look after yourself. And I tell you why they play music loud in clubs. Because they're young. Because if they have it down, forget it. You have to have it full belt so your filling's rattling the back of your mouth. I quite like it loud, you know. I have it loud at home. But then this is my neighbours have got a petition up. Anyway, we've got a deceased pet. Malcolm, send her in, will you, misery? Got with the piano. Oh, cheer up, it's sunny outside. Dear Paul, my wife Jackie is the manager of the Bath Cats and Dogs Home, and she often brings her work home in the form of various waifs and strays. One summer, we used our house as a satellite maternity unit for the main Bath home, and some 60-odd dogs and puppies came to us, and we're very proud to say every one of them was rehomed. Well done, you. One day, the RSPCA inspector's van rolled up containing a 2-year-old German Shepherd, Labrador cross bitch, and her 7 newborn pups. Ooh. She was called Tara, and boy, was she fiercely protective of her babies. Anyway, that was 12 years ago, and we finally lost Tara last month. We've seen enough dogs to know she was a bit special. We buried Tara in Arcadia, on the far bank of our stream, that we call the Rubicon, where I can see her from my desk as I write this. More importantly, we feel that Tara can still see us and keep watch over us. I do hope Tara is remembered on air. She deserved no less. Many thanks, and that's from Stephen Dalton, near Little Sodbury. Stephen, it's a pleasure to mention the fabulous Tara. What a lovely dog she sounds, God. Even that Malcolm, you know, like she's living rough on the streets, and what's the only thing she cares about? A litter. Fabulous. Dear Paul, I'm sending you this email asking for a request for a dear friend of mine. Her name is Carol Deacon. I know that she loves listening to your show, and especially the Motown Northern Soul triples. If you could call out her name and play a special request for her, she would be so over the moon. I don't think she's ever had a mention on the radio, so your show could be the first. Oh. Her birthday is on the 11th of June, so Sunday the 6th would be a great day for the mention, so she gets it before rather than after. That makes sense, doesn't it? 11th of June, 11, 12, 13, that's 3 days before mine. Carol is a true friend, and I'm sure that all her friends will welcome me in wishing her a very happy and special birthday. She'll probably be dancing in the kitchen right this minute. Please shout out her name in your highest voice ever. Thanks, Paul, and that's from Leslie from Northants. OK, then. Carol Deacon! I can't get any higher. Carol Deacon! Can't do. Carol Deacon! Did you hear that? Carol Deacon. Carol Deacon! There you go, Carol. She's probably on the floor now. Happy birthday, love. Well, especially for you, Carol. Not just for you, it's for you, for your birthday, and it's also for Chloe in Wimbledon, Sandra in Southampton, and one of our very loyal listeners, Phil Saint. It's the Bublé himself with a crazy little thing called love.
This thing I call love, I can't handle it. This thing I call love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing I call love, it cries in a cradle all night. It swings and it jives. It shakes all over like a jellyfish. I kinda like it. Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. Then she leaves me in a cool, cool sweat. I gotta be cool, relax, get hip, get on my track, take a back seat, hitchhike, take a long, long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. I gotta be cool, relax, get a hip, get on my track, take a back seat, a hitchhike, take a long, long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows how to rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever, then she leaves me in a cool, cool sweat. I gotta be cool, relax, I get a hip, I get on my track, I take a back seat, a hitchhike, I take a long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. A crazy little thing called love, crazy little thing called love, crazy little thing called love.
Mr. Michael Bublé, crazy little thing called Love there. Do you know he's a great artist? He really is. When I went to the audience with Michael Bublé, he's such a performer and he's got no nerve. You know, he's not one of these uptight singers. He chats away to the audience and he sends himself up and lets you ask him rude questions. He's just a smashing fella. Got nothing but the deepest admiration for him. All right, now we've got a song for Terry and Phil in Newcastle, Dave in Brighton and Carlo in Edinburgh. And it's today's High Energy offering, courtesy of the one and only, wait for us, Hazeldine. Yee! If we had a machine with cheers on it, I'd play it. And if you're going to attempt a little bop during this next one, maybe suggest that you move your ornaments off the mantelpiece. You know, your Capi de Monte and your Ladro, take it all off and put it away somewhere safe. And move the lamp, you know what I mean, and your aerial off top of your telly, just in case there's a bit of damage, because we cannot be responsible for any breakages in the home, OK? Here she is. Hazel, take it away, girl. They say it's going to rain. The first lady of High Energy there, the one and only Hazeldine with They Say It's Gonna Rain. I hope you enjoyed that. And is the furniture safe? Did you have a little bop? I think we'd be having a bit more of Hazel in the future. Love her. Right, time to have some of your messages. Dear Paul, the show is a great tonic as I purge myself for the week ahead. You're not standing there, are you, in a hair vest? I tender the following for your Dob Your Mates in slot. Hang on a minute, hang on. Just rewind quickly. Malcolm, did I miss something? When did we ever have a Dob Your Mates in slot? Are you sure? Well, I quite like the idea of that. Yeah, I enjoy. We've got a new slot, listener. It's called Dob Your Mates in slot, or Revenge is a dish best served ice cold. Right, let's have a look what's happened. The candidate, indeed culprit, is a countryman of yours. Oh, of course it would be, wouldn't it? I mean, you know. Wouldn't be someone from Dover, no. One, Colin Atkinson, who, like you, creates vivid verbal images. So, Wasn't aware I did. Over the last 30 years, Colin's gritty Liverpudlian accent has heralded many a derisory comment and transformed an otherwise shy estuary town, Topsham in Devon. His imagination, Colin's long been a stranger to reality, has created nicknames for all. Easy Life, Mr. Bean, Mrs. To-Do, the Gripfil Kid and the Iceman. Sounds very lively down there. Those in the know are aware of their nicknames, whilst others ponder whether they feature in his over-imaginative world where the truth has never obstructed a good tale. I like the sound of this fella. Thanks once again for your creative verbal topography. This is very hard to read, Malcolm. Just while I got my good teeth in. All the best to the juggler. You sound like a gang of Batman villains down there in Devon. This name follows an unfortunate episode with plates at a party, a.k.a. Ian Hope. Thanks for that, Ian. Dob your mates in. All right, Malcolm, that's a new sloss. And I know the theme for it. From Dragnet. The names have been changed to protect the innocents. Dear Paul, oh, this is a lost film. Get your thing jingle out, whatever it is you're getting out. Get it out. There you go. That's it, lovely. Aisle 4, please. Thank you. Thank you. Can I have your tickets? Thank you. Thank you. Aisle 9. Dear Paul, years ago I was up late one night, unable to sleep, and looking for something on TV to watch. I found a horror movie with a married couple driving through the countryside. The wife was pregnant and they had car trouble that left them stranded by an old mansion with a creepy old lady and a bunch of kids living in it. I also remember a werewolf running around. It wasn't Emmerdale you were watching, was it? A repeat at 3 a.m. Sounds a bit like it, doesn't it? But it wouldn't surprise me. If Corrie or Emmerdale had a werewolf, I wouldn't flinch, you know, because they've had everything else. Anyway, after the couple got their car going and escaped this creepy house, the wife found herself drawn back. Ooh. Well, she'll leave a Mac there or something, or an handbag. All I recall from the ending is that she died at this house after giving birth. Oh, that's jolly. I've been trying for years to figure out the name of this movie. Any help would be appreciated, thank you. And that's from Ali, who's listening online in Arkansas in the US of A. So, folks, come on, let's help Ali out over there in the US of A. Do you know the name of this movie? The wife was pregnant, they had car trouble, an old lady in a house with kids, and a werewolf running around the backyard somewhere, and then she gave birth and died. Not the happiest of films, I must say. But Ali, anyway, she liked it. So could you email me in the answers, please? Thank you very much. Put this woman out of her misery. Dear Paul, what a brilliant show. Thank you. No, thank you for listening. Thank you very much. Please say hello to everyone who took part in Cancer Research Race for Life on May the 23rd in Weston-super-Mare. We had a brilliant day. I took part with my sister Pearl, and although we're not the fittest of ladies, we managed the 5K course. Well done, you. I don't think I could do... How far's 5K? 5 kilometres? How many miles is that? Is it? Malcolm spoke. Did you hear it? Oh, you did? They didn't hear your voice? Oh, you see, he talks to me, but you can't hear him. He's so shy. I'm going to send him to a class. I'll buy him one of them self-help books. How to stop blushing at bus stops. Right. So what happened is, so she did this 5K course, and keep up the good work. It's like having a friend visit every Sunday for a couple of hours. Yeah, but you see... A good friend never stays too long, do they, really? Cup of tea and house. There you go. And that's from Sheila Fairchild. Well done to you, Sheila, and your sister, Pearl, for walking all that way for the Cancer Research Race for Life. Right. Up next, we've got a song for Brian in Salcombe, who says he'd love to hear something from Ann Richards. So, get in the TARDIS, because we're going back to 1961 for Ann Richards with An Occasional Man.
I got an island in the Pacific, and everything about it is terrific. I've got the sun to tan me, palms to fan me, and an occasional man. My little island is very lazy. If I should ever leave it, I'd be crazy. I got the highest peaches, sandy beaches, and an occasional man. When I go swimming, I am always dressed in style. 'Cause when I
pleasure, and in the cool of evening it's a treasure. And when the hour grows later, what is greater than an occasional man? I got an island in the Pacific, and everything about it is terrific. I got the sun to tan me, palms to fan me, and an occasional man. I love my island, it's very lazy. If I should ever leave it, I'd be crazy. I got papayas, peaches, sandy beaches, and an occasional man. When I go swimming, I am always dressed in style, 'cause I go swimming wearing just a great big smile. My little island is such a beauty, you may forget to heed the call of duty, but if you give the slip to your ship, miss your trip, take a tip and blame an occasional
Ann Richards there, who likes an occasional man. And just in case you're wondering, Ann was an American jazz singer born in San Diego. And sadly, she died in 1982 at the age of 46. Well, to take us to the news, we've got a globetrotter for you. It's Patsy Gallant.
In my mind, there's a face. On my lips, there's a name. In my life, there's no place for the man that I love. 'Cause I'm living my life just to sing and be free. From L.A. to New York, from New York to L.A. Ooh, from New York to L.A. 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 Now break my head 'cause all the shining stars are dead. I sometimes close my tired eyes, let myself be hypnotized by memories of loving you, the man I thought was meant for me. But were you really meant for me? I'm a star in New York, I'm a star in LA. In my life there's no place for the man that I love, 'cause I'm living my life just to see and be
Don't go anywhere, folks. I shall be back with you after 6 o'clock. I'm Paul O'Grady, and this is BBC Radio 2. I'm online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News News at 6 o'clock. This is Tom Sanders. Special church services are being held in parts of Cumbria, where Derek Bird killed 12 people and injured 11 others on Wednesday. His sons have issued a statement offering their condolences and saying they have no idea what made their father commit what they called these horrific crimes. The Reverend Richard Teal addressed those gathered at an outdoor service in Seascale.
The events which have occurred here in this part of the world in these past few days has rocked and shocked the county and the country and indeed parts of the world. And here, as local communities, you've been right in the middle of it, right in the thick of it, right in the heart of it. And it's been hard for many.
Contenders for the Labour leadership have attacked the coalition government's plans for early spending cuts. David Miliband accused the Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg of hypocrisy. Ed Balls said the Liberal Democrats had broken promises. The Chief Executive of BP, Tony Hayward, says the latest attempt to stop the leak in the Gulf of Mexico is catching 10,000 barrels of oil a day. He called it the vast majority. An energy consultant, Neil Trimble, said the leak had had significant financial repercussions for BP.
Well, it's damaged the share price a great deal. The share price has dropped by 35% since this incident, and obviously there's a great deal of pain to come. The expenditure level they're going to have to spend on, cleaning it up, and then settling all the litigation that's bound to arise will run into billions, I should imagine.
2 men arrested at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York have been charged with conspiracy to kill Americans outside the country. A complaint filed with a court in New Jersey said the pair plans to kidnap and murder US citizens. The Afghan President Hamid Karzai has ordered a review of all Taliban suspects in the country's prisons. It's the first official response to a national peace conference which ended on Friday. Our correspondent Jill McGivering reports.
President Karzai announced that he's setting up a special committee to review the evidence against all Taliban suspects being held. In any cases where evidence against suspects isn't legally binding, prisoners must be released, he said. The move is a direct response to the resolution adopted by a national peace conference on Friday. The so-called Peace Jirga was addressing measures to promote reconciliation and end the current conflict. One of its recommendations was for the government to take immediate action on the issue of prisoners.
Sport, and England's cricketers have beaten Bangladesh by an innings and 80 runs at Old Trafford to win the 2-match Test Series 2-0. In tennis, Spain's Rafael Nadal beat the Swede Robin Soderling in straight sets to win his 5th French Open singles title. And the weather, a muggy night ahead for most of us. Most places will be dry apart from northeast England and eastern Scotland, and temperatures will be no lower than 10 degrees. BBC News at 3 minutes past 6 on Extra 7. Time for a travel update now. Here's Bobby.
Tom, thank you. Well, the heavy rain has caused lots of slow traffic on your motorway routes. The M5, particularly northbound junctions 8. If you're heading from the M50 through to the M6, you'll find a whole stretch of slow traffic both ways. M6 southbound is slow from junction 11 through to junction 8 for the M5. Again, it's just really heavy traffic. Northbound is slow, but not quite so slow. M6 northbound, the accident between junctions 1 and 2 up towards Coventry, that's now on the hard shoulder. The A11 southbound, there are really long queues between Thetford and Mildenhall. Being told it's taking about an hour to get through that stretch on the southbound side. If you're wanting to go over the Dartford River crossing on the clockwise M25, the queues are way before junction 29 for Upminster now, through to the QE2 bridge. It's largely due to extra traffic avoiding the closure of the southbound Blackwall Tunnel. And of course that closure is causing a lot of extra traffic all around the area, so just be prepared. It's very heavy on the A13, A12 and the A11. Thank you for your updates. Back now, just after 7.
Online, on digital, and on 88 and 91 FM. On BBC Radio
2. And I'm with you until 7 o'clock. And you take your warfarin, there's good boys and girls. Still to come, we've got the Sounds Like Motown Triple, we've got your thank yous, and we've got your requests. And I'm going to be reading some more of your messages after this. Apparently we're going to get a little bit funky now. Hold on to your elasticated stockings, girls. memories of an innocent life. Well, almost. Yeah, I can empathise there. Thanks for great music, which really does bring back memories. Now, if you're ever over here, look me up, and that's from Nikki Francis. So, Brian Stage, who used to be a squash instructor, Nikki Francis wants to get in touch with you. Let us know. Paul, I don't know about you, but I do my best to keep healthy and stay in shape. What? I'm up every morning at 5:30 and in that gym. I do 3 hours on the treadmill, and then I do another 2 on weights, and then I go and have a bionic diet, whatever that is. I read the medical pages in the paper. Listen to me. Never, ever take medical advice from a newspaper. Never. Because if you do, you're a fool. Because you know next week they're going to say, last week we said butter was bad for you. Well, guess what? This week it's good for you. Plus, you can rub it in your hair as a conditioner. I mean, really, say no notice of medical advice in newspapers. They know what they're talking about. Anyway, this one, she reads the medical pages in the paper and keeps abreast of the latest superfoods and miracle cures. Ignore them as well. But the other day, while minding my own business on New Street in Birmingham, I was knocked over by a young woman in high heels carrying a designer handbag whilst talking on her mobile. What made matters worse was that she didn't even stop to apologise. She just kept on talking. I expect it was a life or death call. Yes, it must have been. I know Birmingham is quite far from the sea, being in the Midlands, but as I gathered myself, I asked the question, did she really need to be carrying a 2-litre bottle of water in her handbag? It's not like we have a drought at the moment, is it? Play me a good tune to cheer me up, and that's from Eve in Birmingham. It's always a bit of a worry for me, that, Eve. I'm with you there. Why do you need to walk around the streets carrying, you know, like a flagon of water? You can go in a shop and get a bottle of pop, or you'd even go in a pub and say, do you mind if I go and use your toilets and have a swig out the tap if you wanted to, if you've no money? It's ridiculous. Oh, a lost shot, Malcolm. Thank you. We live in sunny southwest Florida. Your programme reminds us of one of the many things that we miss about the UK. Let's just say that American radio and TV lacks, for want of a better description, characters. Shouldn't have fairness to me, Malcolm. On the subject of lost shops, I was brought up in Swansea and I can still remember Home and Colonial that was in the Uplands. What I would like to know is the Cardoma coffee shop still in Swansea? We had one of those in Liverpool, the Cardoma. Stella was always in the Cardoma. The original, which was demolished after the Blitz, was where Dylan Thomas and friends hung out. A new one was built near the market, and when my mother took my grandmother into town for a weekly shop, we always had coffee at the Cardoma. I had orange squash and a penguin biscuit. I'm assuming you were very, very young. Paul, thank you for your irreverent sense of humour. Like you, we have adopted a rescue dog and a cat, and that's Nick, originally from Swansea, and Dee, originally from Memphis. Thanks for that. Does anybody remember the Home and Colonial, can't say it. And can you tell us, please, if the Cardoma coffee shop is still in Swansea, and we'll let Nick, who's all the way over there in Florida, we'll let her know. Right, now a few weeks ago, Iris wrote to me and she requested this next one, and it's from the great Evelyn Leigh, alias Boulay. And because Malcolm has to go down to the archives to get it on vinyl, there's a few scratches. So Miss Leigh is not frying chips as she sings this song. Take it away, Malcolm.
When your famous Uncle Willie kept his horses at Chantilly back in 1863, what was it for? When he won the French Grand Prix, he presented it to me. Oh, they don't make them like that anymore. When your father, Johnny Barlow, broke the bank at Monte Carlo, he had 500,000 francs in louis d'or, which he used for ducks and drakes on the North Italian lakes. They don't make them like that anymore. In those days, men gave orchids by the dozen. Today they think forget-me-nots will do. I remember Cuthbert Senior used to sport a white gardenia in his dove-grey morning coat he always wore, with his debonair top hat and a pearl in his cravat. They don't make them like that anymore. When your great-aunt, Lady Dinah, was collecting plants in China, she was shot at in the Yellow River War. She ran up the Union Jack and then started firing back. They don't make them like that anymore. My first cousin, General Perry, who adored young Ellen Terry, one night ordered at the old Lyceum stage door the whole blinking Coldstream band to escort her down the Strand. They don't make them like that anymore. You may think that I am hopelessly nostalgic. Forgive me, but perhaps one day you'll see. You will find as you grow older that the world's a little colder, and it's lost the magic that it had before. Just remember that, I pray, when they say of you one day, they don't make them like that anymore.
Evelyn Leigh, they don't make them like that anymore. And that was from the original cast recording of the 1969 show Phil the Fluter, which was based on a radio play, and it ran at the Palace Theatre in London for 125 performances. And on a personal note, I remember coming down from school with me mate to see a play called No Sex Please, We're British, which Evelyn Leigh was starring in. We didn't actually go to see Evelyn Leigh. We didn't know who she was at that age. We went to see Linda Thorson. You know who I'm crazy on, alias Tara King from the Avengers. And very good play it was, and Evelyn Leigh was fantastic as well. So there you go. Right, time for this week's thank yous. Now, if you don't already know, I shall elucidate. Oof, that's a big word for you, O'Grady. This is the part of the show where we invite you to say thank you to someone. Perhaps they've done something extra special for you. It's not, you know, we're not just talking about your husband or your wife or your mum or your dad. It could be a teacher, a work colleague, a pal, or somebody you bumped into in the street. Whoever it is, we would like to know. And there's a certificate of thanks signed by me if your message is read out on the show. And there's a box of chocolates and a limited edition T-shirt for the very best letter or email of the week. So if you'd like to take part, you know what to do. You email me, paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or write to me at BBC Radio 2, London, W1A 1AA. Right, who's first cab off the rank this week? Dear Paul, I would like to say a very belated but sincere thank you to Kev Keatings, the DJ at either Radio City or Radio Merseyside in the 80s. I was really ill at that time and I had to have a course of chemo. I was sent home after each session, and whilst at work, midnight onwards, Kev did a programme called The Peaceful Hour. This rings a bell, this, you know. He will never know how much it helped me and maybe many other people to get through each night after treatment. Again, sincere thanks to Kev. I think he went on to work on the sports side of broadcasting. Keep up the good work, and that's from Lynn from the Wirral. Thanks for that, Lynn. Well, we'll root him out, Kev Keatings, and we shall send him an official thank you. And this one's from Phil Harper in Manchester. Paul, I would like you to say thank you to my next-door neighbour, John. He has endless patience for all our guests. He has a great sense of humour and the ability to make anyone smile the moment he says hello. John is a truly wonderful neighbour, and we couldn't ask for anything more. Keep that Radio 2 music coming, John. Turn it up. And now, there's someone who doesn't mind next door's wireless being on full belt, and that's from Phil. Thanks, Phil. Hopefully John's listening. Bang on the wall and tell him that I'm going to be sending him an official Radio 2 thank you this very week. Dear Paul, I would like to nominate Joyce and Alan Johnston. I had a knee replacement operation last November, which is taking a long time to get over. John and Alan have taken me to countless doctors and physiotherapist appointments. They've also brought me shopping when I was unable to get out. Alan brings me a newspaper most days. I live on my own, and without them, the last 6 months would have been very difficult. They also cheered me up when I realised that my knee would never be quite the same again. Other people have helped, but not quite the same as Joyce and Alan. So, with a big thank you. And that's from Kathleen Boker in St Albans. Kathleen, I hope the knee's working now, 100%. And I'm going to be sending Joyce and Alan an official thank you. Letter of the week, send the kid in with the trumpets. big for his boots, that one. Now then, this week it's from Jane Harrison. Please say thank you to Oakland Special School in Winford. The head teacher is Mr. Boyle, and the school is amazing. They arrange their own shows with pupils with severe learning difficulties. My son Joseph leaves this month, and to say he will miss the family he has at school is an understatement. The school is so special, so please recognise it on your great show. And that's from Jane Harrison. Jane, it'll be a pleasure. And a box of chocks, it's on its way to the wonderful Mr. Boyle and the staff at Oakland Special School in Winford. And you, my lady, you're going to be getting the T-shirt, which you can wear in the privacy of your own home. Thank you. Now, let me know if there's someone or somewhere out there that you'd like to say thank you to. You email me, paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to me, at BBC Radio 2, London W181AA. And now it's my turn to thank Malcolm, because he's found it. Yes, he's found it. No, not a sense of humour, no. But he's found a very scratchy copy of this. It's what I was banging on about last week. It's the theme from the Channel 4 television series, Mapp and Lucia. And here we got the South Bank Orchestra. Ooh, Tilling. Composed by Jim Parker, who also composed the music for the House of Elliott. That was the South Bank Orchestra with the theme from Mapp and Lucia, which was based on the books by E.F. Benson about the life in Tilling, which in reality is Rye, down there in Sussex. And it starred Geraldine McEwen as Lucia, Prunella Scales as Miss Mapp, and the late Nigel Hawthorne as Mr. Georgie. Oh, I love that show. I absolutely... Bring it back, please. I know it's out on DVD, but it's not the same as watching it on the telly. Or better still, make another series of it. Matt and Lucia in wartime. There's still loads of books to go through. Right, well, we're just minutes away from today's Sounds Like Motown Triple, but first we've got some messages for you. Let me have a look. Dear Paul, could you please wish my dear wife Janet a happy birthday for June the 8th? We've been married 13 years and she has stuck with me through thick and thin and doesn't complain about the 7 motorcycles I have in various stages of restoration in the garage. Listen, as long as it's not in the front room, spread out in sheets of newspaper, she's got no need to worry. We never miss your show, and it's become part of our Sunday evening. Best wishes, Dale Seltzer. Thanks for that, Dale. And Janet, a very happy birthday. Dear Paul, the other week you played Stranger on the Shore by Acker Bilk. I wasn't near a computer, so I couldn't write, but wanted to let you know that as a child living in Pettswood in Kent, I lived next door to the Liebars family. Their daughter Jean played the lead role in the BBC series of the same name. I adored her, and hearing the haunting melody every week at the end of the programme, along with her stranded on the shores of the Thames and all in black and white, making it look horribly bleak, would have me sobbing on the stairs in the belief that she'd never make it home to us again. That's the miracle of telly, isn't it? The Liebars were a very theatrical family. Mother was in the Amateur Operatic Society, and I'd get taken every year to their performance at Orpington Village Hall. And the son was a drummer in a band, along with the Crawford boys who lived opposite. He had strict times he was allowed to play, so my brother and I could get to sleep. But thanks for such a great show, and that's from Sheila Gill, now of Tunbridge Wells. Thanks for that, Sheila. Yeah, it takes me back. I remember the end titles, but I didn't think it was the Thames. I thought it was somewhere exotic. You know, like the Maldives or something. Fancy that. Dear Paul, I was talking to my friend's husband John the other day, and I was telling him that you said you couldn't remember your mobile number, but you could still remember your mum's divvy number. It's true, 28171. Well, Paul, John can go one better. Not only can he remember his mum's divvy number, but also his nan's. What's that about then? I'll tell you why, because you were sent to the shop, to the Cowie, and you were threatened. Don't come back without me divvy. So that's what was imprinted in your mind, because the lady on the till would always say, what's your divvy number? And you'd have to tell her, so that's why we can remember them. I don't remember my mum's number, but I remember sticking the tickets on the gum sheet. I used to put them all in a jam jar, and when I got quite a few, I would sit down and stick them all on. Happy days. You were easily pleased, weren't you? And that's lots of love from Sue Joinson in Chester. Thanks for that, Sue. Listen, younger listeners might not be familiar with the Co-op divvy. So maybe older relatives could explain to them what it's all about. Because I don't know either. I just know I used to get told off if I didn't get it. Right. All right, it's time now for the Motown Triple. And this week's choices are from Michael London in Birmingham. So a big thanks there, Michael. And it's a supreme special this week, so enjoy.
Cause
in me at night for some tender arms to hold me tight. I keep waiting, I keep on waiting, but it ain't easy, it ain't easy. But Mama said you can't hurry love, no, you just have to wait. She said trust this time, no matter how long it takes, you can't hurry love, no. Mom was cooking bread. She wore a dirty, raggedy scarf around her head. Always had her stockings low, rolled to her feet. She just didn't know. She wore a sloppy dress. Oh, no matter how she tried, she always looked a mess. Out of the pot she ate, never used a fork or a dinner plate. I was always so afraid for my uptown friends to see her. Afraid one day when I was grown that I would be hurt. In a college town, away from home, a new identity I found. Said I was born in each with maids and servants at my feet. I must have been insane. I lied and said Mama died on a weekend trip to Spain. She never got out of the house, never even boarded the train. Married a guy and was living high. I didn't want him to know her. She had a grandson 2 years old, but I'd never even showed her. I'm living in shame. Mama, I miss you. I know you're not to blame. Mama, I miss you. Came the telegram. Mama passed away while making homemade jam. Before she died, she cried to see me by her side. She always did her best. Oh, cooking, cleaning, always in the same old dress. Working hard down on her knees, always trying to please. Mama, 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 can you hear me? Mama, 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 can you hear me? I'm living in shame. Mama, I miss you. I know you've done your best. Mama, I miss you. Won't you forgive me, Mama?
And that was this week's Motown Triple Offering. We had Back in My Arms Again, Supremes. You Can't Hurry Love, Gaspo by Supremes. And I'm Living in Shame, the Supremes. And thanks very much, Michael, for that selection. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, all the details of that and all the music that I'm playing today just might be available on my show page after 7. And you know what to do. You stop by bbc.co.uk/Radio 2. And that's also where you can nominate your 3 Motown songs. And if you want to know what I get up to during our triples, there's no peace for the evil, is there? There really isn't. Then go to my show page at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2, because Malcolm's had his camera out, his little box brownie, and has snapped me in action. Right, what have we got here? Time now for some of your messages. Let's see. Paul, I listen every week whilst cooking my husband's meal. I make fish pie, and he's just told me that he doesn't want fish pie anymore. Can you please ask him what he wants, as I can't cook much else and I'm not getting much response. Thank you, Sue Horton. Sue. Well, if you make fish pie every Sunday, and have been since you were together, no wonder he's sort of a bit sick of it. Why don't you try, I don't know, roast spuds, bit of beef, bit of something. I'll go and get one of them boil in the bag meals and give him that, see what he says. What's this? Oh, Lost Pub, Malcolm, play the jingle, please.
Last orders, please.
Oh, it's the loneliest sound in the world. Now, this is not so much a lost pub. Oh, don't play the jingle, Malcolm. Sorry. No, don't. Too late. It's more of a lost barmaid, this one. Now, we haven't got any jingle for lost barmaids. Anyway, her name was Aileen, and she used to work behind the bar at Umist, U-M-I-S-T, in Manchester back in the 1970s. Eh? You missed. That's what I've just said. You missed. See, he's paying attention, can't you, listener, eh? As I said, she worked in Manchester in Umist back in the 1970s. When I want your opinion, I'll slap it out here. Thank you very much. She had bright red hair, a great Scottish accent and a great interest in her patrons. Just let's say she could have been on the academic staff at the university because she taught me and my mates a thing or two. Yes, I get your drift. Now, if anyone knows Aileen, could they get in touch because we are trying to rearrange a reunion? Malcolm has my details. Thanks, Paul, from Paul, now of Littlehampton, but once of Umist. So are you there, Aileen? 1970s, red hair, Scottish, loved her patrons. A little too much by the sound of things, but get in touch because all your old customers want to hear from you and they want to know that you're well and happy. Dear Mr O'Grady, I have a complaint. Oh, it's not the first I get. I'm so angry I've had to wait a week to write to you because my mother always said it was best to sleep on it before writing a letter, or in this case, an email. She's right. On Sunday, May the 30th, you played a rather spectacular record by Miss Cilla Black. I did. That was the high-end, the boppy bop one. It was good. I enjoyed that song choice tremendously. However, you said that Miss Black was 84. How dare you? How could you? I thought you were a close personal friend. You even shared a bathtub. Hang about! I was not in a bathtub with Cilla Black. It was a jacuzzi, and she wasn't in it at the time. Miss Black, our national treasure, is a mere 67. Shame on you, Roger and Paisley. She's not 67. She's not 84 either. She's 99, for God's sake. She's had a lot of work. And listen, I can say what I like about my mates. I really can. And she's a very, very dear friend of mine. She really is. Even though I did break me nose and fracture me jaw in a jacuzzi, I've forgiven her for that. And I didn't sue. So there you go. No, she is 67. She had a great birthday as well. Dear Paul, I just caught the last 15 minutes of your Sunday show here in Naples, Florida. I thought Naples was in Italy. I should have studied his geography more, Malcolm, you know. I was usually around the bike sheds having a ciggy. Anyway, my husband, also Paul, is from Birkenhead. We live here full-time, love Radio 2, and we listen to various shows during the week. Could you say hello to his family, the Thomases, in various parts of Prenton, Bebington and Oxton? Come visit us anytime, Paul. It's a beautiful part of the US of A, and we'd love to see you. Lots of love, Lena Thomas. Right, Lena, you'll be sorry you said that. As we speak, Malcolm is looking for cheap flights to Naples in Florida. Here we come. Yeah, so get the kettle on, Lena. We'll be over soon. Thanks for your email. Now, I've got something here for you that can only be described as blue. No, don't panic. Don't rush to switch the knob off. No, it's not that kind of blue. It's Mr. Neil Diamond with Song Blue.
Song Blue, everybody knows one. Song blue, every garden grows one. Me and you are subject to the blues now and then. But when you take the blues and make a song, you sing them out again. You sing them out again. Song blue, weeping like a willow. Song blue, sleeping on my pillow. Funny thing, but you can sing it with a cry in your voice. Before you know it, get to feeling good. You simply got no choice. sing them out again. Song sung blue, weeping like a willow. Song sung blue, sleeping on my pillow. Funny thing, but you can sing it with a cry in your voice. Before you know it, started feeling good. You simply got no choice. Song sung blue. Song sung blue.
Neil Diamond, Song Blue, and that was from his 1972 album Moods. And we've had lots of requests for Neil, so there you go, so for all you Neil Diamond fans. All right, we're going from Song Blue to something else that's blue. It's just going to be blue now for the rest of the afternoon, is it? We're going to have Am I Blue? Blue Moon. I'd rather be blue over you than be happy with somebody else. This is for... listen, last Sunday, a regular listener, Margaret Robinson from in Bournemouth, she asked me if I'd play this, and it's by Mike Preston, and it's called Mr. Blue, and it's for her birthday. Not today, it was last week. So I hope you had a great birthday, Margaret, yeah? And here we go, Mike Preston, Mr. Blue.
Our guardian star lost all his glow the day that I saw you. He lost all his glitter the night you said no, and his silver turned to blue. Like him I am doubtful that your love is true, but if you decide to call on me, ask for Mr. Blue. I'm Mr. Blue. When you say you love me, then profit by going out on the sly, proving your love isn't true. Call me Mr. Blue. I'm Mr. Blue. When you say you're sorry, then turn around, heading for the lights of town, hurting me through and through. Call me Mr. Blue. I stay at home at night, right by the phone at night, but you won't call and I won't hurt my pride. Call me Mr. I won't tell you, while you paints the town a bright red to turn it upside down. I'm painting it too, but I'm painting it blue. Call me Mr. Blue. Call me Mr. Blue.
Happy birthday, Margaret, you lovely woman. That was Mr. Blue. Mike Preston, especially for Margaret. That's her birthday today. OK, time now for some of your emails. Please keep them coming, because it keeps us busy and, you know, nothing else to do, apart from a bit of low dusting. And you can email the show anytime you like. It's paulogrady@bbc.co.uk. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got a lost shop revisited, eventually, it says. Isn't it that means? I guess this is going to be long. Dear Paul, we have two cats, one black and white one called Domino and a ginger cat called Charlie. They keep scaring the wits out of me. They keep bringing the mice or shrews that they have caught into the house. I wouldn't worry about that, Mrs. Roscleve. This is who this email's off, because my dog Bullseye brought in at midnight a decomposed rat and flung it on me foot. I'm still on tablets, recovering from it. Anyway, I was sitting in the garden the other Sunday afternoon with my phone radio to listen to your show, and you were talking about Kennedy's sausages. I was, that's right. They were the best sausages I have ever had. And when my husband used to drive the lorry for the company he works for, he used to deliver eggs for Kennedy's, and they used to give him a couple of pounds of their sausages. Sadly, because we live in East Sussex, we can't get them anymore. And that's from Mrs. Roscleve in Peasmarsh. Never mind, Ros. Can't you go on the internet? That's my answer to everything these days. Be on the internet. Look it up. Dear Paul, I live in Crete and I listen while my sister Doreen listens in Horsham in West Sussex. Last Tuesday, Doreen went into hospital for a second hip operation and I couldn't be there for her this time. Please can you send her my love and best wishes? And this dedication will come as a shock to her, but hopefully put a smile on her face. And that's from Susan Diplock. Susan, your poor sister Doreen, she's just come out of hospital. She's had her hip replaced. I don't want to give her another shock, have her falling. So if you're listening, Doreen, get well soon, love. Oh, another lost shot, Malcolm. Oh, that was short. Dear Paul, the other Sunday you mentioned Cater's Supermarket in Bromley, Kent. I remember it well as my late mother-in-law and her sister, now living in Australia and who was 90 on May the 25th, both used to work upstairs in the store. They packed the tomatoes for sale, while another of their sisters worked on the checkout. I always parked my daughter in her big Silver Cross pram outside, making sure it was by Auntie's checkout so she could keep an eye on her. That was in the 60s when I did my weekly shop and I got change from a fiver. Thanks for a great show. And that's from Jean Moore. Change from a fiver. What's a fiver? Right, it's the cocktail hour now, folks. Are we ready? And this week we're having something called an income tax cocktail. Does this mean I'm going to take to me bed, Malcolm, for 3 days and sulk? Anyway, you have 1.5 ounces of gin with 3/4 ounce of dry vermouth, 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth, oh, I'm going to be sick, and a bar spoon of fresh orange juice. What's a bar stool? Bar spoon? I know what a bar stool is, but what's a bar stool? Spoon? Can't even say it. That's what's up at me today. So you do that with your orange juice, and then you add a dash of orange bitters, and then you combine the ingredients in an ice-filled cocktail shaker, and you shake until freezing. Strain into a chilled cocktail glass and garnish with lemon zest. So much hassle, cocktails, aren't they? They really are. By the time you've got it together, you've gone off it. Oh, just have a pint. Anyway, not a cocktail, I mean. As always, please drink responsibly. Here's Herbie Mann with Fever. Fever. I kept waiting for Peggy Lee. And she does that thing with her hand. And she sticks her hand out and she clicks her fingers as she sings it. Oh, I love Peggy Lee. Right, time now for some quick ones. Sam in Sunderland, have you finished that dissertation yet? Sinead, I'm doing just fine, and thank you very much for asking. Johnny Griffiths from Chandler's Ford. Don't give up the day job, Johnny, but thanks for trying. Shirley, have you locked the back door? Hello to Sarah Friedman's mum. Chin up, I'm thinking of you. Keith Klingon, how did you get on with your marathon trek in aid of Malvern Hospital? Ron, Nina wonders if now would be a good time to ask her again. I'm desperate to know. Ask her what and tell me if she said yes. Happy birthday to Clyde in Epping. He's 28 this Tuesday. Happy anniversary to Sarah and Dave in Windsor. Congratulations on 10 happy years together. And finally, for now, hello to Annie in Newport. Annie, did you finish that knitting in time for the charity sale? And if not, why not? I want to know. All right, don't forget, if you fancy a request on next week's show, a birthday or anything, then, you know, get in touch right now. Well, it's the time for the last one today, and this has been requested by Shirley in Moston. And you are right, Shirley. I did say a year ago that I'd play it again. So here you go, Shirley, just for you. It's the Osmonds. Let me in.
Loving you could be so easy. Loving you could make me warm. Ever since the day I left you, I tried, but I just can't get you out of my mind. Thought I could do without you. Thought I had to look around. But now that I know I need you, I promise that I'll never leave you. Won't you please let me in? Let me in your arms again. Let me give my love to you once more. Let me love you. Let me love you. Take me in your arms to stay, and I'll never go away again. 'Cause I love you, 'cause I love you. Never be the same without you. If I could say goodbye, I have no right to ask you, but if you can, won't you try to love me? Won't you try to love me? Help me. I need you so badly. And let me in. Let me in your arms again. Let me give my love to you once more. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. Take me in. Take me in your arms to stay, and I'll never go away again. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. Oh, let me in.
And that was the Osmonds, but let me in. All they had to do was knock on the door, really, and I'd have opened it for them. Well, that's it, folks, for this week. Please keep your emails, letters and thank yous coming in. The email address is paulogrady@bbc.co.uk or by post, Paul O'Grady, BBC Radio 2, London W181AA. And remember, and I mean this, we're nothing without your emails and your letters, so please keep them coming. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the music this afternoon. Next week, apparently, is going to be glorious. Well, Monday onwards going to be lovely, so get out and enjoy the sun. You take it easy. A big thank you to the team and to my producer, Malcolm Quince. And a big thank you to you for tuning in. See you next Sunday. Take care of yourselves. I'm Paul O'Grady. This is BBC.